Hey there everyone, welcome back to Film Top. History Channel's hit reality TV series Pawn Stars has been successfully entertaining the audience for 17 seasons now. The show has not only brought profit worth millions of dollars to the History Channel, but also financial benefits to the cast members. In this top 6 list, we'll have a look at Rick's biggest buys on Pawn Stars. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out. Alright, let's get to it. Number 6. Percussion Pistol. At the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, Rick isn't known for making offers without authenticating an item first, but in Season 7, when a customer named Ed brought in a percussion pistol from 1830s, Rick was quick to consider the purchase. After being offered $400, Ed demanded $35 more, and Rick eventually bought the pistol since he had to wait for his expert to show up. Later, antique arms and armor expert Sean carefully checked the 1830s percussion pistol, which was actually an English traveling gun. Fortunately for Rick, the purchase didn't end up being a regret, as according to Sean, the pistol could easily be sold for $600 to $800, allowing Rick to make a considerable profit. Although the purchase was a gamble, it turned out to be in his favor. Number 5. 1941 Gibson Guitar.
This is a 1941 Gibson SJ200. It was owned by Stephen Stills of the band Crosby, Stills & Nash.
That is cool.
Antique musical instruments have always been extremely valuable in the pawn business, and it's known for a fact that Gibson guitars are renowned for their fine construction and remarkable quality. When a 1941 Gibson SJ200 guitar was brought to the pawn store in Las Vegas, it was obvious that its worth would be much higher than that of any guitar from the same brand. That was due to the fact that it was once owned by American rock legend Stephen Stills. After assuring that the guitar is authentic, Rick's expert estimated its market value to be no less than a whopping $105,000. However, Rick only offered $85,000, and luckily enough for him, the seller settled for it.
It's beautiful, it's rare, and it was owned by a rock and roll legend.
Number 4. 1842 Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon is not just a book of theology, it's really a book that talks about the American experience. This is the 5th edition, and this was the last one that was actually printed in Joseph Smith's lifetime.
One of the most regular and favorite customers on the Pawn Stars, Adam, a vintage bookseller, approached Rick with a 5th edition copy of the Book of Mormon in Season 10. Considering it was the last copy printed during the religious scholar Joseph Smith's lifetime, the book was easily worth $40,000 according to Rick's expert Rebecca Romney, who was called to appraise the enormously valuable book. Compared to the historic document's market value, Adam had only asked for $25,000, but Rick still got him to agree to $24,000. Another one of Rick's successful purchases.
This book isn't just significant to Mormons, it's a unique historical document.
Number 3. $20 bill from D.B. Cooper hijacking. One of the rarest unresolved hijacking cases involves the name Dan Cooper, the pseudonym of an unidentified man who hijacked the Boeing 727 aircraft in United States airspace between Portland and Seattle on the afternoon of November 24, 1971. He jumped out of the back of the plane with a parachute and ransom money before disappearing suddenly. The pilots landed safely, but D.B. Cooper's ultimate fate remains a mystery to this date. Many FBI agents are of the opinion that the hijacker did not survive his high-risk jump, but his remains weren't found. Based on these facts, anything from the 1971 Boeing hijacking is of great historical significance. When a customer named Mike approached Rick and the old man with a piece of $20 bill from the D.B. Cooper hijacking, the two Harrisons looked interested immediately. And since the customer had brought in a certificate of authentication, Rick had no reason to hold back. A deal was quickly struck at $1,600 for the rare piece of money. Number 2. JFK's cigar box.
This is John F. Kennedy's cigar box.
Sure is. And inside are the remaining unsmoked cigars.
Wow, really?
For those who don't know, John F. Kennedy, often referred to by his initials JFK, was an American politician who also served as the 35th President of the United States from 1961 to 1963. When his original cigar box was brought to Rick's pawn shop, the seller was demanding a whopping $95,000. Considering the fact that the box held historical importance and also contained 8 cigars. Although the seller initially seemed reluctant to negotiate with Rick, a deal was made in the end at $60,000.
JFK absolutely loved his cigars. And to actually have a cigar box that sat on his desk in the Oval Office is just one of those things I can only dream about.
Number 1. Original 1971 Willy Wonka props.
This is the original hat that Gene Wilder wore in the original film. Is that insane?
I just have to do this.
Looking pretty stylish.
The original 1971 Willy Wonka props brought to the gold and silver pawn shop included a golden egg, Wonka's hat, a golden ticket, and the everlasting gobstopper. Seeing all of this, Rick could hardly hide his joy, as he's always been a fan of the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. This explains why Rick immediately agreed to the seller's demand of $100,000 just for the gobstopper alone. Later, however, he obviously regretted his hasty decision, as the prop from Rick's favorite childhood movie wasn't worth more than $20,000 to $40,000. What's even surprising is the fact that Rick didn't even try to bring the price down or authenticate the item before purchasing it.
Might be a crazy price for the everlasting gobstopper, but let's face it, it's the everlasting gobstopper. It is literally, in my mind, the greatest movie prop ever.
These incredible purchases and deals are one of the many reasons to make Pawn Stars fans rewatch episodes from the previous seasons with so much interest. This brings us to the end of our video, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, let us know by liking the video. Stick around for more amazing content, as we'll be seeing you soon.